All right, welcome back everyone to another Explainer. Today, we're setting the stage to demystify how businesses actually attract and, more importantly, keep their customers. We're basing this whole journey on Professor Srinivasan B's foundational presentation on the basics of marketing management. So whether you're building a startup, studying business, or honestly just kind of curious about the unseen forces shaping what we buy every single day, you're in the right place. We're going to give you a clear look at the mechanics behind the curtain.
So let me ask you a question. When you hear the word marketing, what instantly pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably flashy TV commercials, those super targeted social media ads that follow you around, or maybe a persistent salesperson trying to close a deal. But is marketing really just selling and advertising? Well, if you think that's the whole story, you're literally only seeing a tiny fraction of the picture. Think of marketing like a giant iceberg. Selling and advertising? That's just the visible tip poking out above the water. Beneath the surface is a massive, complex structure. At its core, marketing is a social and managerial process where people get what they need and want by creating and exchanging products and value. But the real key takeaway here is that marketers actually act as the customer's voice inside the company. They aren't just pushing a product out to you, they are actively pulling your needs in. To keep us on track, here's a quick look at our agenda for today. 1. The marketing iceberg. 2. Needs, wants, and demands. 3. Products and customer value. And 4, the modern marketing landscape. All right, let's jump straight into section 1, the marketing iceberg. You know what's really fascinating is the sheer amount of heavy lifting marketers do completely out of the public eye. I mean, they're constantly analyzing industries to spot emerging trends before they even happen. They're the ones doing the math to figure out which global markets a business should actually enter, or just as importantly, when to cut their losses and exit entirely. They dive deep into consumer behavior research and they design these complex, integrated marketing mixes. That basically means perfectly balancing the product, the price, the distribution channels, and the promotion. And the whole point of all this behind-the-scenes work? To deliver customer satisfaction at a profit. It's all about promising superior value to get new customers and then actually delivering on that promise to keep them around. Moving right along, let's look at section 2, needs, wants, and demands. So let's dive into the psychological drivers behind why we buy things. It basically happens in a 3-step progression. Step 1 is needs. These are fundamental states of felt deprivation. Think needing basic food for survival, or social needs, like wanting to belong. Then we hit step 2, wants. This is where it gets interesting, because wants are how those basic needs are shaped by your specific culture and personality. Like you need food, but you want a slice of pizza or a warm bowl of ramen. Finally, step 3, demands. Look, people have practically unlimited wants, right? But we all have limited resources. So when a want is actually backed by buying power, like cold hard cash, it officially becomes a demand. Consumers are always hunting for the product that gives them the absolute best bundle of benefits for their money. So how exactly do businesses answer those demands? That brings us to section 3, products and customer value. Okay, when we say the word product, we aren't just talking about a physical box you grab off a store shelf. Literally anything capable of satisfying a need is considered a product. Broadly speaking, these get split into consumer goods and industrial goods. Consumer goods are things you and I buy, everything from everyday convenience items to those specialty goods you'll go out of your way to find. On the flip side, industrial goods are things like raw materials, fabricating parts, and those massive installations that keep other businesses running. Oh, and don't forget services. Services are absolutely products too. They're just intangible activities or benefits, like getting a haircut or hiring a consultant, where you don't actually walk away owning a physical object. Building on that, it's kind of cool to see how specific types of products target totally different consumer motivations. Take luxury goods. These are high-quality, non-essential items that people mostly buy to signal wealth, exclusivity, or social status. Compare that to premium products. These are positioned as having superior quality or advanced features compared to standard stuff, but they're still generally accessible. They're about exceptional value, not pure exclusivity. And then you have niche products. These aren't trying to appeal to the masses at all. They are hyper-specialized goods designed to hit the unique preferences of a very narrow, highly defined target audience. So, how do you, the customer, actually evaluate all these options? Well, it comes down to customer value. The formula is actually super simple, but notoriously tricky to pull off in real life. Customer value equals the perceived value you gain from the product minus the costs of obtaining it. And I really want to emphasize that word perceived. Value is almost never an objective mathematical measurement. Customers make choices based on what they believe they're getting versus what they have to give up. It relies entirely on their unique expectations. Which brings us directly to the link between customer satisfaction and quality. Satisfaction is entirely dependent on whether a product's perceived performance matches up to the buyer's expectations. If it falls short, boom, dissatisfied customer. Quality is intimately linked to this, and it's essentially defined as freedom from defects. This is exactly why successful organizations rely on total quality management, or TQM programs. They are obsessed with constantly improving their products, services, and marketing processes to make sure they consistently hit or exceed those expectations. That's how you keep buyers happy. And let me tell you, keeping buyers happy is a much bigger deal now than it used to be. The way businesses engage with us has evolved in 3 main stages. We started with a basic exchange, just obtaining an object by offering something in return. Simple enough. That eventually formalized into a transaction, which includes agreed upon conditions, a set time, and a place. But modern businesses, they don't stop there. They are all pushing for step 3, relationship marketing. This is all about creating, maintaining, and enhancing really strong, value-laden bonds. The whole goal is to move past a one-and-done transaction and build a long-term, profitable relationship with customers and stakeholders. Let's zoom out for our final section to see this all in action. Section 4, the modern marketing landscape. The scope of marketing today is just mind-blowing. What actually gets marketed? I mean, pretty much everything. Goods and services, obviously, but also events. Think about those massive Olympic sponsorships. Experiences, like a weekend at a Wonderlaw theme park. Persons are marketed. Just look at the brand building around a megastar like Amitabh Bachchan. Places do it with tourism campaigns for Kerala. We're talking real estate properties. Huge organizations like HP or Bosch. Information through books and universities. And even ideas, like widespread AIDS awareness campaigns. Literally everything in our society is marketed in some way to grab our attention and fulfill a need. To really grasp how we got here, we just have to trace the evolution of marketing philosophies. Way back, it started with the production concept. The focus was literally just on mass-producing goods as efficiently as possible. Then the focus shifted to the product itself, and after that, to really aggressive selling techniques. But then came the marketing concept, which was a huge shift because companies finally realized, hey, maybe we should figure out what the customer actually wants first. That eventually evolved into the societal marketing concept, taking the long-term welfare of society into account. And today, we operate under the holistic marketing concept. It's this massive, comprehensive approach that basically says everything matters, from how you treat your internal employees to your broad societal impact. In today's landscape, there are a few defining trends you really need to know. First off, everyone in a company does marketing now, not just the marketing department. We're also seeing this massive, continuous shift toward online marketing and identifying completely new digital segments. But I want to highlight 2 specific things for your own professional toolkit. First is global strategies. This means thinking globally while acting locally. And second is the huge focus on customer lifetime value. Businesses today aren't just trying to make a quick sale off you. They are literally calculating the financial value of retaining you as a loyal partner over your entire life. Which brings us to the end of our deep dive into the marketing iceberg. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on for your own career or business endeavors. When you interact with your audience, are you just selling a product? Or are you delivering a holistic experience? Remember, the real magic of marketing happens deep below the surface, acting as the true voice of the customer to deliver superior value. Keep looking beneath the tip of the iceberg, guys, and I promise you'll never view a simple transaction the exact same way again. Thanks for joining me.